Hey guys, welcome back to Prepping in Progress. I'm Steve.
And I'm Kim.
And today you want to talk about...
Fat.
I'm good with that.
But how good it is.
It's very good.
It's very good. Yes, fat is good. I've got that Weird Al Yankovic song like floating through my head right now. And I can't help it.
So she spontaneously burst into flames. Song. There's a reason why.
Don't mind me. I've just got that Weird Al Yankovic song just kind of constantly going through my head. But yeah, we wanted to talk about fat. Okay, and in the sense of, okay, we had that weight loss video, but this is not that. I'm talking about dietary fat. And it being kind of overlooked sometimes when people are prepping, because it is hard to think of a way to store fat, especially for long-term food storage. But I don't want you to neglect that it is an essential macronutrient. Sorry, I keep wanting to go macronutrient. So you've got your carbohydrates, your proteins, your fats. Those are your macronutrients. Carbs are easy. A lot of people do rice, just eat large quantities of rice and pasta, things like that. So they usually have their carbohydrates covered. Many people either raise chickens or rabbits or do beans to cover their proteins. But a lot of people neglect the third macronutrient, which is your fats. And that could be a serious detriment when we are talking about an SHTF situation. Now, a lot of times it's not hard, especially in our society today, to get enough fat in your diet. A lot of people try to do low fat and try to cut it out because they think we have too much of it, which we do. Saturated fat, things like that, are not good for us. But fat itself is essential for overall health. We don't think about it because we're in a developed country, and so we have it through our meat products, dairy products. We have it almost constantly, and so we don't think about what it would mean to be deficient in having fat in our diets.
Now we're going to be getting into stored fats. What prompted us to discuss storing fats and stored fats?
We actually got asked that, didn't we? Recently we were talking about cooking with our long-term food storage stuff, and somebody asked, well, what fat are you using to cook with? And how are you storing it long-term? And I'm like, oh, we should really probably discuss this at some point about what fats that we were storing. But I wanted to get in real quickly, before we jump into what we actually store, I want to get into why you want to store fats. The biggest thing is fat-soluble vitamins. Like I said, we don't think about it because we do get plenty of fats most of the time in our regular diets. Most people have access to cheese and eggs and meats and things like that, where they don't think about they're not getting enough fat in their diet in order to dissolve these vitamins. But if you are going to be living off your long-term food, which is most people are storing rice and beans, right? If it's their carbohydrates and their proteins. They are also probably storing multivitamins as well to help supplement. But they don't realize 4 major vitamins are only fat soluble.
So in other words, for the vitamin to uptake into the body, there must be some kind of fat content coming in.
Yes.
With the food content.
Yes, and so you have to have fat. A lot of times if you're taking a multivitamin, it says to eat a meal with it. It's not a problem these days. Most people have fats in their everyday meals, so it's not a problem to absorb a lot of the vitamins in your multivitamin. But if you are in an SHTF scenario and you're eating literally just rice and beans, there's almost no fat in that. So those vitamins that you're taking are not going to be absorbed into your body.
Question.
Yes.
So for the non-Torah keeping sect of our viewers, group of our viewers, rabbits, that's a lean meat, right?
Very lean, and a lot of wild game is very lean.
Deer.
Deer as well. Even your squirrels, anything that's kind of wild on the run, they're going to be very lean because they are wild creatures. They're not going to have a lot of excess body fat because they're moving, they're jumping. So think of it just being like a track runner. They're very lean, very little body fat on them.
So I'm not going to be able to uptake my vitamin pill if that's the meat in the stew pot.
Yeah, you're getting plenty of protein from it, but a lot of people can experience a form of starvation if they are living mostly rabbits and wild game. You read a story probably that Indian tracker who had no problem tracking food and getting food on a daily basis, but he was still going into starvation mode.
Right.
Because his body was lacking a lot of vitamins and nutrients that are only able to be absorbed through fat. And many of the wild game that he was catching, though he was eating every single day,
And eating well.
and eating very well, he wasn't getting enough fat to his diet.
Okay.
So he was not able to absorb the nutrients that he needed for his body to keep going. And so he was experiencing a type of starvation while still being completely full.
Okay. So we're talking multivitamins. Which vitamins exactly?
I wrote them down. So
Sorry, I'm trying to get.
No. It's fine.
I diverted the subject a little bit.
Yeah. There are four main fat-soluble vitamins, and that's going to be A, D, E, and K. So vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. And I wanted to go quickly over some sources for all of these and some problems if you become deficient. Like, so we don't have a problem these days in most developed countries of being deficient in almost any of these, because a lot of us do have, animal products. If you're having a vegetarian, vegan, you do tend to worry about these because you don't have a lot of fats and animal fats into your diets. Most of these can be, like vitamin A, a good source of that is liver, fish liver oil, and butter. If you become deficient in vitamin A, blindness can be a problem, night blindness, and so if you're on night patrols or something like that and you become deficient in vitamin A, you can actually, your eyesight can go really bad. But also poor immune function. So if you're going into a situation where medical care could be lacking, being deficient in vitamin A and having your immune system go down could be a bad problem. Vitamin D, most of us know is the sunshine vitamin, right? We're outside in the sunshine, but most of the time when we're outside in the sunshine, what are we?
Covered.
We're covered. We're getting very little absorption through our skin. So sunbathing, not out of the question. But like I said, it is a fat-soluble vitamin, so you want to make sure you have plenty of fats in your diets. But another way to get it is through fatty fish again, like salmon, another fish liver oil, so if you're storing that, is another way to get plenty of that vitamin. Deficiency can be weak bones, weak muscles, and again, poor immune function. So a lot of these becoming deficient, and your team can start dropping like fries if a small virus or flu or something like that, they already have poor immune function, and they can start getting sick pretty rapidly. Another one is vitamin E. Good sources for this is your seeds and your nuts, fatty fish again, peanut butter, and again, fish liver oil. Deficiency in these, though it's very rare to become deficient in this, anemia, neurological problems, that includes dementia, heart disease, and again, poor immune function.
Now, before we move on to the next one, for many of my friends, you need to be careful when you're getting the capsulated fish liver oil to take, because many of those capsules are made with gelatin, which is a pork product.
Yes. So if you're not keeping Torah or kosher, it shouldn't be a problem, but if you're vegetarian, vegan, or vegetarians usually don't have a problem, but yeah, because it's pork.
Yes.
Vegetarian, vegan, or Torah keeping, or kosher, anything with gelatin in it is made from pork products. Just FYI. So we had a problem with we went to go look at the fish liver oils that they sell in the health section. We went to Walmart today and we looked at them, and he's like, I can't do these because they've got gelatin in them. And so we're going to have to go to probably a vegan store or a vegetarian store or something like that. And
A health food store of some
health
kind.
to try to track down them that do not involve gelatin in them. The last fat-soluble vitamin is vitamin K. Now this one you're going to be getting from your leafy vegetables, your Brussels sprouts, your spinach, kale, all of those, and you don't need a whole lot of this. Your body only needs a little bit of this, so even just making sure you're just getting some leafy vegetables maybe once a day, or just some leafy vegetables into your diet, and it should give you plenty, but making sure you're pairing that with some sort of fat in order to be absorbed into your body. It only literally takes about a week, though, to become deficient in this. So you can, even though you don't need very much, you can go deficient because our body doesn't store it long term. you can go deficient in as little as a week. So going long periods of time without any kind of source of vitamin K, it can lead to the biggest problem with deficiency is excessive bleeding. People will have problem their blood clotting. And if we're talking an SHTF scenario, when you do have a lot of times you have cuts, you're more prone to maybe injuries and things like that. If you become deficient and you can't get that bleeding to stop properly because the person's not clotting, you're a medic. You know how hard it is to deal with somebody with some sort of, what is it called when somebody doesn't stop bleeding very well? Hemophilia? Hemophilia. And trying to get that bleeding to stop.
It can be well nigh impossible, and you're going to, all right, I'll say it. You're going to waste a lot of resources getting that to stop. And
if you're dealing with a gunshot wound,
that's a lot of resources that can be used for other people in the team. So keep up with your vitamins.
And like I said, and it's not hard, just making sure that you put into, leafy vegetables, spinach and things like that can be grown year round, or mostly in the wintertime. So if you're losing your kale and stuff like that, can be, a lot of leafy greens can be stored in the wintertime. So, but making sure you have some way to either can or something good leafy vegetables that you can have. A greenhouse would be really great. Something, cold freezer, another good idea, to make sure that you can have some way of getting. Doesn't have to be a lot. It does not have to be, like I said, our bodies only need a little bit of vitamin K, but like I said, it is a fat-soluble vitamin. So pair it up with a nutritious fat in order to be absorbed into your body.
And if you're going to do canned spinach or canned Brussels sprouts, etc., drink the juice.
Yes. So lots of these things can be canned and stored long term, but also if you're able to grow your own and can your own as well, it's even better. But make sure you are pairing them with a nutritional fat in order to actually be able to absorb, because you can read on the label and it says it has all these vitamins in it. You've got your A, you got your E, your D, your K, you got all your vitamins that you need, but remembering that these are fat soluble. So pairing them up with, which we're going to get into, healthy fats, or any kind of fat, well, not any kind of fats, so it's saturated.
Any kind of fat? I'm good with this.
But
where's the ranch dressing, babe?
Hey, that's actually not bad. I do ranch dressing. It's easy now for us to get a hold of some sort of fat to order to. That's why you don't see these as being deficient right now, or in most developed countries, because we do have plenty of access. So I'm going to go through just some of the things that we have been trying to do for our long-term stores. There are plenty more out there. I got really kind of mad. I went to the store today to look for lots of good long-term fat storage. So I'm going to have to start making my own because I got frustrated at Walmart. Either that or we're going to have to go somewhere else because I got really mad. They're not common and they're really expensive. We went up to look at beef tallow.
$13.83 per jar.
And it was past the Best Buy date. Yeah.
Expired.
By like a month.
And still on the shelf.
And still on the shelf. All of them. There was like, at least 7 jars.
Yeah.
Good sized jars of beef tallow. And I got really excited. I'm like, yeah, they have one for duck fat, which expired next month. Or no, later this month.
Aflac.
Duck fat is really good.
Aflac.
Stop it. He's doing that all in the store. It's crazy.
Aflac.
People are going to turn off. And beef tallow, 2 really good fats to use, especially when cooking. And all of them were within a week of expiring or already expired.
Aflac.
Okay. He's going to have to leave now. All right, but some of the things that we did get, just to give you some ideas, stuff with fat, stuff that you can cook in fats, that I did not store. I have some, but I do not store for long term. I don't do vegetable oil and I do not do olive oil. Even though I love cooking with olive oil right now, it goes rancid very quickly. Vegetable oil only lasts maybe a year or 2, but it's not super healthy for you. So we're gonna go with what I know you don't. We'll talk about that one in a minute. He doesn't like it. Some of the quick ones that we were able to just pick up at your local store.
Oh,
or we made ourselves.
Let's touch on the canned butter. Yes, we'll be testing it in about a month. We received a lot of comments about ghee, and since we practically did the same process for ghee, except we needed to skim off the milk fat. Yes, guys. Rather than answering every single comment, we do intend to do a ghee experiment as well.
But I did want to do, that's the main purpose, is I'm experimenting with different steps, different procedures. Canning butter is different from ghee, but you can buy ghee from the store. I think, what did we say, for like a pretty good sized jar of it, but it was like $7 though.
Yeah.
$7 or $8 for a jar, for not much bigger than this jar of ghee. So I was kind of really hesitant on buying some. I'd rather work on just making it. But ghee, if you do have the resources and you want to just go buy some for right now, then working on making it yourself later. They do have ghee at the store, but we can link the video where we canned our own butter.
It'll be right about here or here.
One of the up top.
No, it's always on my side.
Yeah, it is always.
It's always on my side. It's going to be right here.
But non-Torah keepers won't be able to do this, but this is lard.
Lard, good fat.
But I like this because you don't have to refrigerate it. And it stores for a really long time. I bought this one, I don't know how long ago. But I do store lard. And you can buy them this little small ones, which I prefer. That way I can open up little by little.
Yeah.
But they do store huge buckets of them. But having cooking fat, lard is a good alternative if you do not use. Yes.
I just thought of one that I don't see here.
What's that?
Crisco.
No, I don't use Crisco because that's just pretty much vegetable oil.
But Crisco can be stored better than a vegetable oil for a longer period of time, especially if you keep it cold. And like lard, you reach your hand in, just get a swath on your fingers, put it on your skillet, and then.
Yeah. I don't personally use a lot of vegetable oils, and Crisco is vegetable oil. I like using animal products myself just because they do come with more vitamins along with it.
Yes.
But yeah, his parents are, like I said before, many other videos, are vegetarians, so they do a lot more vegetable oils and Crisco and things like that.
Yeah.
But they also use coconut oil. You may not like it, but coconut oil does store for a very long time.
It's actually one of the longest storing ones.
And he doesn't like it because why? Why don't you like? Don't tell the whole story, just say why.
Because it's a very healthy and
Natural.
helpful and natural item, which will strengthen your gums, strengthen your teeth. Taking a dollop of it in your coffee in the morning will help you absorb vitamins and minerals. Don't go overboard like Steven did and do dollops. It's a natural laxative.
Now, coconut oil is a laxative. Do not overdo it. It can help things keep moving, especially if you have a very high fiber diet, or if you're eating a lot of meats and things like that. You feel like worried about getting constipated. Having coconut oil as a regular, small amounts.
I'll be honest, I had none of those problems. I dehydrated very quickly. I spent 24 hours in bed unable to move, nauseous, trying to die, thanks to coconut oil.
So don't overdo your coconut oil, but it is very good. Doing it on its own, yes, it can be like, but I also use this for cooking a lot of different items, which he doesn't know. I still use it on a lot. But
she doesn't know that I cringe every time I taste the aftertaste of it.
But I do like using coconut oil because it does store for a very long time, and it is a good vegan, vegetarian alternative to a lot of the animal products that we have.
And it lasts as long or longer than many of the animal products.
Yes. That's those
three?
for like cooking and for seasoning. For just all around having some extra fats in your diet, we get milk. It's pretty much powdered milk. But this is the full fat powdered milk. A lot of powdered milks that are out there, I know he grew up on this stuff.
I love this stuff. Can't understand why kids these days won't eat this stuff.
Drink it.
Eat it. You know,
Eat it.
spoon. Your saliva's moisture. It'll rehydrate in your mouth.
But getting the full fat version, they've got plenty of non-fat or low-fat, or pretty much most ones I've seen in the American ones are no-fat powdered milks. You want to get one that actually has the fat in it.
Okay.
Mainly, like I said, because of fat-soluble vitamins, because this does have a lot of vitamins and things like that in it, but you're going to need to make sure it comes with the fat so it is actually able to absorb into your body. So we do this one most of the time, and like I said, these do last for a really long time. They're all sealed up and everything. Did you want to look?
Cool.
Another one is peanut butter, like I said, with some of the other vitamins. Peanut butter. Now we do the natural peanut butter because you can see the oils in it. That's what I want, that peanut oil in there. So that's all good, healthy fats in there.
Don't forget to take your knife in and stir.
Yeah, stir it. Unless you want to use the oils. I mean, I've used the oils for cooking. Sometimes I use peanut oil for cooking different things.
It shouldn't need to be said. We are all mature here, right? However, I have noticed that we have a couple of 13 to 17-year-old viewers who've been watching. If you're allergic to peanuts,
Don't eat
don't. Just
Not even
know.
the oil.
I know we shouldn't have to say that, but
Okay, another item we just picked up today, because we talked a lot about fatty fish, having a lot of the vitamins, but also having fat, because they're fatty fish. Steve picked up today canned herring. And one of the reasons why we picked this up, like I said, small, portable, able to put on the shelves really well. What did we say? It was 360 calories in just this one jar. With what's
you were saying that a third of it would be a daily dosage of
Yeah.
something.
Well, no, a third of it is one serving.
One serving,
Yeah,
okay.
one serving is just a third of this, and that's 120. One serving is 9 grams of fat, with only 1.5 of that being saturated fat. So, I mean, we're talking about really good, healthy fats in these. And so pairing this up with, say, you're having your rice and your beans, having just a small can, being able to even just split it up into thirds, sharing it between a family member. I know you may not like canned fish, you may not like sardines and anchovies and herring, but these are excellent sources of vitamins and healthy fats in order to get those vitamins absorbed. So pairing this up with meals such as your rice and beans and just having a small bit of proteins and fats in there with it will help you absorb all your vitamins.
So do the hard things. Order an anchovy pizza today.
Yeah, I know, and like I said, I know a lot of people don't like these, but they are very healthy. And so you may not like them, but if we're talking about just find a way to really get to liking them, add some hot sauce, anything you can do, experiment with them to find some alternative ways that you may be able to eat them without gagging. I personally like sardines. I don't have any problem eating sardines. I like them, but a lot of people don't. And so do the hard things and just try and find some that you might like. Put them in peanut butter. Come on. Sardines and peanut butter sandwiches.
Is there something you want to announce to everyone?
No. Okay, the last items we found on Amazon. I know this has gone kind of long, but I wanted to show these because we are talking long-term food. And we have not tried these out yet, but I'm hoping to do some experiments with them to see how well they work. But I found this really cool company.
Hoosier Hill Farms.
Hoosier Hill Farms. Let me show you what they look like. Kind of glary. Sorry. Here you go. Real
Heavy
butter.
cream powder.
Heavy cream powder, real butter. And this one's the sour cream.
So, Hoosier Hill Farms, we're welcome to
Sponsor us,
product testing, anything.
Yeah, we bought these a long time ago because we wanted to test them out for long-term food storage. There's also like powdered peanut butter, things like that you could possibly do. August Farm has a lot of these similar products, like powdered butter. But we wanted to try these out because they were actually kind of inexpensive on Amazon. You can check them out and see if you like them. But we're going to hopefully taste test all of these and actually try using them in recipes that call for these, because we have lots of recipes that call for heavy whipping cream, right? And plenty that call for a little butter. and then having some sour cream for like Mexican. I don't know. You're looking up how to make them.
Well, you know, I went out and I did what I usually don't do, and I bought ingredients for dinner the same night, and I went and got sour cream. I completely forgot that we actually had this, and to make sour cream, mix 3 parts water to 5 parts sour cream powder. Okay.
So just water to rehydrate it and to mix it up into what you're trying to make. This one calls for just water, this one just calls for just water.
So I'm thinking the next time I need sour cream, I'm going to use that.
Just make that up. Yep. And so we're going to try these out just to see if we can use these for long-term storage. We talk about having fats and things like that to store and to cook with and to introduce into your diets. This is an option if you're talking about long-term food storage. And so that's all we have for today about storing fat. I hope y'all make sure you diversify your long-term food storage. Remember, your macronutrients are carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. So don't neglect that last one on the list. But anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
They all look delicious though, right?
I'm going to taste test everything except for the
lard.
lard and the
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil, I've already taste tested. We know it.
But let us know in the comments if y'all have anything that y'all store long term. Do you make your own beef tallow? If you do, that's one thing I'd love to
Beef
learn.
tallow recipes in the comments section. Email to preppinginprogress@gmail.com.
If you duck hunt, do you render your own duck fat? But these are all different ways that you could possibly do not do that. You almost did it again. Bite your tongue.
It quacks me up every time.
Alright, they've listened to us long enough. Alright, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, tell me in the comments below, what are you doing to store fats and making sure that you get these into your long-term and short-term, mid-term food storage. So let us know. Hope you like, share, subscribe, and check us out.
We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Aflac.